Yo, what's up, legends? Welcome back to the Bet Whisperer, your new favorite channel, where we don't just bet, we bet smart. If you're done riding the emotional roller coaster, if you're sick of handing your money over to the books because of one tilted moment, this is the place for you. Here's what we're about: discipline, long-term profit, and staying ice cold under pressure. Because let's be real, most people lose, not because they don't have good picks, but because they emotionally unravel after a bad beat. If you're here to break that pattern, do me a favor, smash that like button to push this content to more shark bettors. Subscribe to level up your betting IQ, and drop a comment with your worst chasing losses moment. I promise we've all been there. Mine involved a 5-leg NBA parlay, some tequila, and a 1 a.m. tennis match I knew nothing about. Never again. Let's get into it. In this video, I'm giving you the exact mental framework I use to keep my cool and avoid chasing after losses, even after the ugliest beats. But I'm not just preaching mindset. You're also getting my 3-rule system that will help you win more consistently and cut down your losing streaks by half if you stick to it. This is what I wish I had when I first started betting. Not hype, not false hope, but a blueprint for staying in control, playing the long game, and keeping my bankroll alive. So you need to stay locked in if you want to bet like a pro. Let's talk about why chasing losses is one of the biggest traps in all of sports betting, and why it's exactly what the sports books want you to do. When you lose a bet, especially one you really believed in, your brain doesn't just shrug it off, it gets emotional. Your ego takes a hit, you feel that sting of anger, and your mind starts whispering things like, I need to win that money back. I'll just double my next bet. It's gotta hit. That, my friend, is the sunk cost fallacy in action. The idea that because you've already lost money, then you need to keep spending more to fix it. But in reality, you're just digging deeper. And sports books, they thrive on that emotion. Tilted bettors are their best customers. Let me give you a quick story. A buddy of mine went on tilt after losing the first leg of a 5-team NBA parlay. Instead of calling it a night, he threw another $200 on an obscure Australian basketball game he'd never watched, just because it was the only thing on at 3 a.m. You already know how that ended. The worst part? He had a solid strategy before that, but chasing destroyed it. So the point is, the problem isn't just the loss, it's what you do after the loss. Now let's flip the script. If you want to break free from chasing and start betting with discipline, here are the 3 golden rules I personally live by. Rule 1, bankroll segmentation. You've probably heard, don't bet more than 1/5% of your bankroll, right? But let's go deeper. I segment my bankroll into 3 buckets. Daily unit stack, what I'm allowed to bet each day. Emergency freeze stack for when I go cold and need a reset. Growth stack, profits. I reinvest only after a set win threshold. This way, I'm never tempted to double up after a loss, because the growth stack and freeze stack are off limits. I treat my bankroll like a business because it is one. Rule 2, set betting times. One of the most dangerous things in betting is boredom. If you're sitting around refreshing apps, waiting for lines, and letting your emotions stew, you're going to bet on impulse. I set strict betting windows. For example, I make all my bets between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. After that, no matter what happens, I'm done for the day. This adds structure and keeps me from chasing after late-night losses. It also trains your brain to treat betting like a job, not a 24/7 casino. Rule 3, emotional check-in rule. Before placing any bet, I ask myself, am I calm, focused, and seeing clearly, or am I emotional? If the answer isn't I'm calm, then I don't place the bet, period. This check-in rule has saved me thousands. It forces you to pause, breathe, and recenter. Because no sharp bettor ever said, yeah, my best decision was when I was fuming after a bad beat. Want to see how I apply these rules in real time? Join my Discord, links in the description. I post my top 3 picks daily with a full write-up and why I like each on. And if you want bonus picks, weekend parlays, and bankroll building tips, hop on the email list. I don't spam, just real value-driven picks every week. Let's wrap this up, If you made it this far, you're not a casual bettor. You're here to grow. So here's your quick recap. Don't chase losses. The moment you go on tilt, the books win. Segment your bankroll to protect yourself from emotional decisions. Only bet during a set window, eliminate boredom betting, check in with yourself emotionally before every bet. You now have a mental edge over 90% of bettors out there. Most people lose money because they can't control their reactions. You can, and that's your superpower. So if you know this have helped you so far, can you do me a favor by share this video with a friend who always tilts after a bad beat? Tap that bell so you never miss another sharp-minded video. Drop a comment with your worst chasing story. Let's normalize learning from our L's. Subscribe if you're serious about turning betting into a long-term game, not a short-term fix. And if you're ready to go even deeper, don't hesitate to check out my full betting systems guide. It's got the frameworks I use to build profit, spot value, and ride out slumps without chasing or tilting. Thanks for watching, stay sharp, stay disciplined, and I'll see you in the next video. Let's stack some wins.